Finding solutions, short-term, mid-range, and long-term. Solutions can find us working in the margins. Today's world is a tough baseline. It's more difficult than ever to just exist or get by, and it's not getting any easier. Moving forward in today's world has become both an art and a science. Food, clothing, temporary shelter, long-term housing, short-term jobs, temporary employment, or long-range careers. It all takes some help and finesse. Not everyone can do it. It's an art and a science. And let's face it, not everyone is a scientist. Some people need more help than others. The basics like reliable transportation, internet, laundry, a regular shower, even water, those basics we all take for granted. Electricity, these are the challenges of those caught in the net. Are homeless, unhoused, housing challenged, living in the margins. People of all ages, young, middle-aged, senior citizens, entire families, male, female, all reasons and all walks of life. Anyone can find themselves living in the margins. Homelessness and the challenges that go with it are not going away, and we can't ignore them. It's just too expensive. We've got to do better. Take the next step forward. Tune in now and listen to Working in the Margins.
Hello, San Bernardino, Inland Empire. This is Shazette with Family Assistance Program, and you are at our weekly radio and podcast, Working in the Margins. And you can find us on KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. I think we're now streaming live on YouTube, and then it'll be saved on there. So yeah, so we're at kcaaradio.com, kcaaradio.com. So those are all the ways to find, and then you'll be able to find it under hashtag Working in the Margins with Z. On my socials, I have all of them. I probably had too many. I did get rid of Reddit because it was becoming depressing. So I got rid of Reddit, but there's some things I need to talk about, so I need to go back on Reddit in a little bit. But this is a special show for me. My birthday is on Sunday. I turned 58, y'all. 58. Wah, 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 wah. And this show is special, and you just got me today. I don't have a guest. I'm the guest because I'm going to give you, share some things with our community. This is Shazette's birthday wish list and gratitude episode. So I'm going to share a lot of resources. I have been researching. Thank you, Eric. I have been researching and looking for some really good resources to share with the community, a lot of the populations. And birthdays are important to me for a few reasons. I've had cancer, and they tell you get your affairs in order, and that happened to me a couple of times. So birthdays are celebrated. I'm so honored to be able to be still living this experience of life right now. I'm grateful. Things are kind of bleak in some areas, but I'm really trying to keep a grateful heart for the things that are going right. So I want to encourage people, if you are experiencing stress or anxiety, things like that behind what's going on in the government, or how it's affecting people that you may know directly, ICE raids, things that we haven't had to deal with in my lifetime, kind of ever. Some of this has never ever happened in my almost 58 years. So, and it's a little it's disconcerting, and we get kind of, we get anxious, and we don't know how to deal with it, and we get depressed, but I want to be your encourager. I want to say, hang in there. Find somebody that you can trust and talk to, and that can keep you, uplifted. That's really important. Make sure you're taking care of your mental health, and your, what you read, what you input into your mind, into your system, how that processes. make sure that you are not just reading, glancing. If you're gonna read, read, if and not just glancing, because I hear a lot from folks, and then like I'm on social medias, and it's like, well, I read that, and this said this, and that was that interpretation, and then and that's not the interpretation. That wasn't the intended interpretation, but now you've shared your interpretation just because you saw a headline, and now there's a lot of other people. People are looking right now for answers. People are looking to be consoled. People are trying to figure out why is so all of these things are happening. So when you are sharing information, make sure you read, follow the link and read, where it goes. I've made that mistake of not following the link and just sharing it because, oh, the caption caught my eye. And then somebody said, "Did you know that was linked to such and such on the dark web?" No, that wasn't my intention. That wasn't my intention. So I've gotten a lot better about following the links, and looking and seeing who posts and who was the original poster. So I am grateful for so many things, and I want to share some of those things with you. Some of them are people. Just from this last year, because I've gone through. There's been a lot of changes, just in my last year of life, and I'm really looking forward to this next year because I think that there's a lot of things I want to do, and I think that they are absolutely obtainable from where I sit right now. So I'm super excited about the future, this and being, getting activated. But I am grateful for this past year. The things that I am grateful for in this past year, it's abundance of things, and my people and my family and stuff, they know that. But this is a family assistance show. I represent family assistance, and I want to tell you about what I am grateful for on this job, on this where I work, the agency that I serve at. I am so grateful for one, being able that I had a reputation where someone felt that I would be good at this agency, and they helped me get this position. I am grateful for that person, and I probably always will be, because what happened when I got here is that I was allowed to learn and fail and learn and readjust, and I'm still given those opportunities. I have been in several departments or several programs in our agency, and every one of them, I have learned about more and more about marginalized populations, the people that I decided to serve and devote my career and my mission to, homeless people. I have been allowed to learn and fail and be wrong and to be right and to keep working with these folks in more meaningful ways. And it has changed my life. This last year of my life has been it has been full of challenges, newness. I had a significant person in my life, significant people in my life pass away, and I still had to learn how to get back out and learn how to help people again. I have learned putting this show together and being able to every week being able to resource has I have created partnerships, and I have resources to help every type of person. I feel more of my mission is being worked right now in this past year than I have probably in the last 5 years. And that's a lot. That means a lot to me because that means I'm working where I think I'm supposed to be. Sometimes I don't feel like I have imposter syndrome, huge imposter syndrome. And sometimes I lack confidence. And even though I'm asked to do certain things or take the lead on certain things, I suffering from imposter syndrome most of the time, it's difficult for me to feel confident like right off the bat. I don't have that kind of confidence. I have confidence that has to be like ran up to. You got to run up to it, and so that's how it's worked for me. But I have had the opportunities at this agency at Family Assistance to see so many different avenues of and ways to help people. We Our agency addresses every marginalized population. I started with this agency in the youth division, and I was like, I'm well past my child rearing years. So I found myself in the company of a lot of young kids, 14, 15. And I only had one child, y'all. So God knew my patience, and He knew me enough. So, so I have one wonderful child, and he's a boy. So I was able to be that boy mom, and I didn't have to be formal too much of, So these kids, they come into my life, and I struggled for a while. I was like, I don't know about these kids. My kid had none of the challenges that these kids have, and I was cautious about whether I was the right person for this work, and it didn't take long. I think it was like one or two kids that started it, and they just made me feel like I was everything, that I was right, I was good, I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. I helped them, and that just grew and grew, and I had so much support from the team, from leadership while I was in youth services, and I was very grateful and honored to be able to steer that program for a little while. And then I learned a whole new population that I really wasn't, familiar with, was youth. My population previously for a long time, probably, like 7 or 8 years prior, was senior citizens. So it was a different energy. But I am grateful for that opportunity, and the people that I work for in youth services. Now there's a young lady. Her name is Joby Wood. She's over the youth services in the high desert, and she has like a shelter or a drop-in center up there. And I have people up there that I worked with that I still know. I don't get to see him as much because we all busy, doing the work, but Jose, he's still, I love that he does all the outdoor stuff. And then down here we have Oscar. He's been on the show before too, Oscar Lobos, and he runs the Tay down here and our Open Arms drop-in center down here in San Bernardino on Highland. And they are awesome, and they're amazing youth advocates, and I'm grateful for them. And then I left there, and I started CES, which was my passion. I love the coordinated entry system, has always been my passion, because I like the folks on the streets. I like to help the folks on the streets, the hardest of the hard to help. I like trying to start helping them. And folks always, a lot of people ask me why was it homelessness, and why was it, like homeless, street outreach homeless, especially because I feel like I was older, like kind of almost too old to be starting to do that kind of work. But I'm not in control of this, y'all. You know that? I'm not in control of this. Somebody else directs this, so I just go. He tell me to go. He give me the energy, the air in my lungs to be able to do it. I'm going to go. So people ask me, how did you start, or, why? And I'm always honest about it, because I touch more people than making up a story, okay? So I'm always honest about it, and it is my personal story. My youngest brother, was homeless and in jail, in prison, in jail, for a large part of his life. And he struggled with addiction. And a few years now, he he passed away on the streets, and not even here in California, y'all. He was back in Syracuse, New York. And I, even though I started doing this work before he, this wasn't in honor of him, I decided a long time ago that as long as he was out on the streets, I was always going to try to do something to have for him to have a place. So I started shared living houses, and he lived in almost 3 or 4 of the houses that I had set up for shared living, but he was inside. So that was but he had a wife, he had a family, he had kids, and just certain things could, a person they just can't kick it, and he tried. So since then, since that was most of his life. He was 42, I think, when he passed. So 42, 43, yeah. So for a large part of his life, but we miss him. We love him. He was he would give you the shirt off his back. It was, he suffered, and his wife and I and his family, we miss him. But I have dedicated my mission, my life, my work, to serving those on the street. I had a cousin, my little cousin Eric died on the streets. He had just got into housing, I believe. But he had been homeless in downtown Los Angeles for many, many years, and he ended up, he passed a little bit after my brother passed. So I'm always going to do this. I've always had family members that were like on the verge or homeless, and I'm always going to do this because I'm always going to want to help keep anybody from experience and make their entry into homelessness as little as short as possible. Things change you when you're homeless on the street. A person changes. If you weren't addicted and didn't have bad addictions and everything before you went in, maybe it was a job, you lost a job, or you just didn't have money, and you are going to do things that are going to try to help you get through it that you may not have done before. So I feel that it is a part of my work, my mission. I want this to be I'm working on my legacy, because it's important that we never forget people, for whatever reasons, have ended up on the streets and homeless. Not in this, we live, well, it may not look that way so much right now, a civilized country, a civilized nation, but we live in a civilized nation. We have technology, and we are supposed to have the best of the best of people. Why can't we figure out this homeless problem? People tell me, it's always going to be homeless because there's always going to be people that don't want to conform to, life or rules or society. And okay, but isn't there a place for them that they can be together and still not be homeless or have beds? If they don't want beds, then sleep in cot. There's got to be something. We got to start thinking about alternatives to housing. We have to. And it's really important right now because some of our social service programs here, so I read the May Revise came out, the governor's May Revise came out, and it's not great, y'all, for social services. There's a lot of money going toward housing. Most of the money's going toward housing. And as a housing specialist, do we need it? Absolutely. Absolutely, we need it. But we need to start getting creative about what kind of housing we make and who can get in it. And we need more concentration on subsidies being created to keep folks that are on the margins and not able to afford a $1,000 rent. We need shadow subsidies to be created by philanthropic people and companies to help keep folks that are probably working for them off the streets and are just a paycheck away from being homeless or losing their car. That's my wish. That's on my wish list. I have more. We're going to take a break. When I come back, I'm going to share it with you.
Was you in an accident or just need help with dents? All Magic Paint and Body Collision Centers. In business for over 30 years. Their highly trained staff and certified technicians and friendly staff are the best in the business and treat each car as if it was their own. All Magic Paint and Body Collision Centers are family owned and offer state-of-the-art equipment and tools to ensure optimum results. They use the latest technology in computerized color matching and specialize in frame repairs. With their modern laser measuring systems, their OEM
KCAA. KCAA. KCAA.
All right. Welcome back, San Bernardino. This is Shazette, and this is Working in the Margins. We are on KCAA, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. You can Google us at kcaaradio.com or KCAA TV. Our studio is here in the wonderful Teamsters building, the Randy Kamick Hall. And it's like the media studios. And I'm grateful for the Teamsters. I'm grateful for KCAA. I'm grateful for the friendships and the relationships I've created here. This is new to me. This was August, and I don't know, somebody said, try to do it, and I said, oh, okay. So I've been doing this since August. And I have a whole new family. I have Eric and Mark and the team here, and I appreciate them, and I love having this platform. I'm grateful for my sponsor, the sponsor of this show, Mr. Don Williamson, the tax collector, the tax assessor, the tax man. I call him the tax man. He's a wonderful soul, and I appreciate him. Appreciating our agency and the work that we do, and enough to be able to sponsor this show. So thank you, Mr. Williamson. And I am grateful for the opportunity that has has me back in like the union, world, I guess, and loosely. Well, not so loosely, because we do partner. We have partnerships with Teamsters 1932. We do some training and stuff with them. They're coming into the world of reentry, and they're doing some trainings. They have a wonderful training center, and I'm grateful for meeting Becky Leppins. She runs that program over there, and it's just been great to have that resource. We've had a couple of kids that took the classes over there for like warehousing and logistics. They also have like a work office readiness program. So I love this relationship. They have a wonderful little, his name is Robert Gonzalez. I've had him on here, him and Becky, I've had him on the show. And Robert is the youngest organizer, or media, he communications director, or communications, I think. But boy, is he's got the energy of 1,000 people. He's everywhere, and it was great. I'm happy that I met him because he's young. He's really, really young, and we are trying to promote at Family Assistance Program to kids, and young people the advantages of having a union job. So we have a relationship with Teamsters. We have a relationship with IBEW. So I am very, very happy that I've been able to be out in this community, and work with these folks and meet these folks, and having the kind of like the freedom, but also the direction. The directive was to get to know people in the community and, down here in San Bernardino. So I've been doing that a lot, and I really have enjoyed the opportunity. So I'm going to share some things. This is my wish list. Some things that I really want to get support on. One is family assistance. So, things are just, everybody's funding has gotten hit. So it's really, really important now for nonprofits to do fundraising and to have support doing fundraisers, to make our dollars stretched in order to serve our clients. So family assistance, we have not been able to, we got hit with that bullet too. We had services, leave, and we're taking care of people the best we can still, because people are still need help. So we are doing Mary's Bingo Thursday, June 5th, 2025. Reservations from 5 to 6. Game starts at 6:30. It's a bingo game show fundraiser to benefit Family Assistance Program. It's at Hamburger Mary's in Ontario on Porsche Way, 3550 Porsche Way. You can go, if you're online, you can go to Family Assistance Program. If it's we got a whole bunch of social media, so Instagram and Facebooks, I believe. So go on there and Google Family Assistance Program, and they'll be able to connect you to that bingo event at Hamburger Mary's. Hamburger Mary's is fun. They like dress up and they do stuff. I love that. I like being entertained. So that's good. I think, let me see if I can find the Pride. We have a Pride event coming up. Our Open Arms, our youth drop-in center, and our Open Arms and Welcome Home program, they do a Pride event every year. And I think we changed, hold on, I'm gonna look for it because I know it's in here. I think we changed the location because it's kind of like outgrown itself. So we're not at Succumbi, or Seacom. I don't know, how do you say it? Succumbi or Seacom? Seacom. I think it's Seacom. Okay. I'm gonna find out and I'm gonna say it right next time. So it's San Bernardino Pride. It's calling all vendors right now. So it's June 20. Oh, let me blow this up. I can't see that. June 26th, 2025. And we're looking for vendors and right now. So I'm going to have all these links on my hashtag Working in the Margins with Z on my socials, or look
Did
up.
you say it's going to be at that park?
No, it's going to be at Al Gouin Park. It's on Little League. 3664 Little League Drive, San Bernardino. So, or maybe it was at Paris Hill last time. Maybe. But it's going to be at this Al Guhin. It's AL, and the last name is Guhin Park. Thursday, June 26th, 5 to 10. No registration necessary, no entry fee. No homophobia allowed. Celebrate Pride Month with free music, performances, community resources, and HIV/STI testing. Food for purchase, food or retail vendors must apply with the PRCSD. So they have like a little hash code. Oh, we have sponsors already too. Options for Youth, St. John's Community Center, Planned Parenthood, Neil Miller and Robert Berumen. Berumen. Okay, we have. Okay, we got some sponsors. Okay, good. It's gonna be on my hashtag. Okay, so y'all can sign up, or you can find it through Open Family Assistance Open Arms. Okay. Um, June, lots of events, local events too. So that's good. I even have one. And somebody, Community Health Systems, got their ad out quick, um, early too. So their event is on Friday, July 25th. It's from 9 to 12, and it's at the Bloomington Community Health Center. And it is a backpack giveaway and resource event. Okay, so I'm gonna tag this to hashtag Working in the Margins with Z, and it's a backpack giveaway and resource event. Now it's not until July 25th, but hey, you'll get a jump on it. So, um, so the Department of Public Health is hosting a vaccination event on Tuesday, May 20th. Tuesday, May 20th from 9 to 3 in Hesperia, at Hesperia High School. Okay. Yes, I cover all. Working in the Margins is for all of San Bernardino and the IE. So San Bernardino County goes a long way. So you folks up in Hesperia, up at Hesperia High School, they're going to have a vaccination event on Tuesday, May 20th. Okay. That's my son's birthday. That's the same. It's gonna Hesperia High School. They have the same event, but it's gonna have some other things. They're gonna have dental services. Um, they're gonna have a mobile health unit. There's gonna be children's dental care. IEHP is gonna be there. Um, so that's May 20th at a Hesperia High School. Get these kids ready for the summer. All right. Hold on. So I wanted to share something. I have some more resources, but I have a little bit more time too. I wanted to share something with you, community. Um, because I read it in on the I tell you how I follow links, and I was reading an email, and it said that it was from a coworker. My coworker Jim Bolus is starting a human rights organization, a human rights campaign here in San Bernardino. They had a meeting yesterday or this morning, I think. I couldn't get to it because I had previously scheduled something. But I am definitely going to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this, and you're going to want to be a part of it too. Because we don't have a human rights campaign or coalition on this over here. So, and I was reading the email, and it was like an update, and then it was a link in there, and it said human rights organizations in San Bernardino County, California. This list is gold. It is gold. And we are on it like in several different places. So I am really happy our programs, because we have Open Door, which is like our human trafficking. We have Next Step, which is our reentry. So, and these are we all of our marginalized populations. Most of these folks, they deal with human rights violations, and we've just had really no recourse, for folks to be able to like express that or let us know, and so this is really, really important. Really, really important. But I want to read some of the folks. I thought I could read them all to you, but it's too many. So I'm just gonna read the ones, and you could. I'm gonna read kind of quick through them, but I want you, if you have any friends or family, or maybe you're even dealing with things that where you might feel like your human rights are being violated, and you're looking for support out there, and you want agencies. So this list is agencies that can help you, that agencies that assist. So there's the Coalition Against Sexual Exploitation case, and that's anti-human trafficking. San Bernardino County Human Trafficking Task Force. The Open Door, that's us. We are Human Trafficking Recovery Services. Forgotten Children, which is child trafficking prevention. Million Kids, anti-trafficking education and prevention. Rebirth Homes, trafficking survivor housing. We have ACLU of Southern California, San Bernardino. I have been to a few of their presentations, and they are just awesome. They're a great resource to have for civil liberties and legal advocacy. The Inland Empire Immigrant Youth Collective, that's immigrant rights and DACA support. One of my Time for Change Foundation, that's Miss Vanessa Perez and Miss Kim Carter. That's women's empowerment and housing. Inland County's Legal Services, legal aid for low-income residents. I've sent so many people to Inland County Legal Services. San Bernardino NAACP, I knew that they were out here. I just hadn't really had time to connect. But I had Miss Che Wright on our show earlier this year, and she's an amazing young woman. And the civil and that branch is doing really good things. So I know they're doing something coming up with trying to with entrepreneurs training, I think. So and that's the civil rights and racial justice. And these are right here, y'all. Y'all probably don't even know about some of these that you have the Inland Empire Refugee Assistance Program, refugee resettlement and support. I'm gonna connect. I'm a hashtag all of these so you can come back to it. We have Option House, which is domestic violence services. Catholic Charities, that's a stalwart, program in our community. Social services and refugee support. Community Action Partnership of San Bernardino. They should say Community Action Partnership of San Bernardino that feeds every damn body in the IE. And that's poverty reduction. They do poverty and they do food because they are the greatest resource. Miss Nichols, Patricia Nichols, I love that woman. And they do such a wonderful job over there, and they keep our communities fed, our low income communities fed, and our seniors that, it helps to be able to get food, from food banks. They are regional food pantry. They get food. It helps because our money is not stretching, y'all, like it used to, and when you got to decide on buying a carton of eggs and a gallon of gas, that's tough, So imagine if you only get 900 or 800 or 700. I had a client once that only got $700 in Social Security, and that's all he was ever gonna get. And he couldn't income improve. He couldn't do anything. So I know there's folks living like that out there, that's probably on the verge of homelessness, if they're not already, Not everybody has kids they can go stay with, That's what people think. Oh, your kids will take you. Not everybody has kids that they can go stay with. For family shelter, That's in out or over in Upland. Their homelessness and housing. Let's see. Oasis Counseling Center. That's trafficking and survivor therapy. The Native American Resource Center. That's indigenous rights. San Bernardino County Children's Fund, and they serve at-risk youth support. The San Bernardino County Children's Fund they are doing amazing work for our kids, our youth, our school age kids. My girl over there is Ruth Humphrey, and we've done some real good work together over this last year. I'm really grateful for them, because like our kids, we never really had to worry about our families that had children, school age children, this last year, because Children's Fund helped us. I want to say at least 85% of the time they helped us. So thank you, Children's Fund. And then always, like, everybody knows 211. San Bernardino. Everybody knows 211. And they know it's like here on this list, it has them as a resource connection. The part of 211 that I want to highlight right now today, who I'm really grateful for, because I've been working with them lately, and they have shown me that there are people in this world who also know the value of compassion when it comes to folks coming out of prison, reentry people. We work with them in a few different ways, but right now our main way is through our HIRE program, and that is for employment services for reentry clients, for people who coming out of prison. It is one of the best programs I have ever worked with, under, adjacent to. And it's run by my coworker. Her name is Carly Callahan. She's been on here a couple times, I think. And she is doing an amazing job with that program. That program is putting a better face on reentry clients that are coming out, because they're helping them get ready to go to work, and they're giving them the tools in order to do a good job and to present, authentically, but they have skills. They're putting the right, round pegs into round holes, and they're putting people where they're supposed to be, and they're just really, really like embracing, and they know the importance of it. They don't judge. They're just like, hey, we're going to give you all the things that you need to come back to, re-enter society and become a successful. They walk the walk at 211 Careers. They hire the people that they serve, and I've had Jason was on not too long ago. I had him on the show, and I saw him today, and I was so happy to see him, because he is such a bright. He's just like a walking testament, and he's a believer. I know that, and you could feel it on him, how his gratefulness. It's just like like knowing a good old pastor that just got that little connection. So it was so good to see him today, and it reminded me that, yeah, you are at an agency just like Family Assistance, and we hire people with lived experience because we know the value of people with lived experience working with other people who have come maybe from circumstances like theirs. Because who better can tell a person coming out of prison than a person who has spent time in prison and has re-entered society and dedicated their work and their mission back to this community? Who better than that person to help people come over and to transition back into society? So Martha, I love those ladies. Every time I see them, they just so, they're so warm, and I am encouraged every time I'm with them. So, and then Young Visionaries, we got Young Visionaries. They do youth empowerment. my friend, I've had Terrence Stone too on this show the last year, since I've had the show, and he just keeps growing. And I love to see him and his team out in the world, out in the city, doing work with the kids. He gives me hope. I'm grateful for Terrence because he gives me hope that there are people out there. There's this thing called the man mob or a male dad mob or something like that. I think there's a mom mob too, but they go to schools and stuff like that, and they do like a little Soul Train line kind of, but they like cheer the kids on. It's like a rope, where you walk and they cheer you on. So, but there's a group of men, and I knew Terrence was a part of that. There was a group of men here in San Bernardino, and they do that, and I just love that because it makes me happy to see that there are black men out there still wanting to mentor young kids, and they just not on the hustle and grind, and but they're recognizing that we got to leave we got to leave this work to somebody. We got to leave this world better than we found it, out for sure. So I'm grateful for Young Visionaries and for Terrence. Operation Grace, I am that's a wish list. I want people to donate to Operation Grace. Pastor Jessica Alexander, please donate to her programs and her projects, her nonprofit, because she is serving youth. And our youth money is getting snatched, y'all. It's for real. It's just getting snatched. And she is serving youth, and she's in the process of creating a program over there that serves youth, a youth wellness campus, and we need that. We absolutely need that. So we're hoping that we can support her community and make that come to her. I have another wish list. I want everybody to go to City Council, San Bernardino City Council, San Bernardino City Council, and I want you to advocate for the creation and building as soon as possible, even if it's temporary, of shelter space for homeless people on our streets. It's about to get hot, y'all, and I worry about folks on the street. It's about to get hot. I don't know what it's supposed to look like, really. I don't. I know what I want it to look like, but that's just me. But I really want us to come together as a community and say, how are we going to protect those homeless folks from this summer heat coming this way? We're lucky we live in California. Our weather isn't drastic. Sometimes it gets right. Of course, it gets over 100 sometimes and everything, and nobody wants to be out in that. But we are lucky that our weather is more, it's more temperate, so we don't have, huge fluxes in hot and cold and things like that. But when you're on the street and you don't have proper clothing, really, most of the time, or shoes, most of the time. Yeah. So come with me. Let's go to City Council and say, help us. What can we help you do? That's, kind of quick. What can we as a community help you do? We're not going to go to them without solutions. We want to go to them and we want to say, hey, if you have any funding or anything that you can, let's let's come together as a community and think about the best way to serve our community. I think that's one of my biggest wish list. And that people, donate to charities. Today is the last day of the Big Wigs campaign. I don't have my pink wig on because I got to wear it later for a long time. So I'm looking forward to that. It's the Big Wig Gala. I didn't meet my whole goal, but I'm really grateful for the opportunity that I had in order to raise what I did raise. Because I probably would have never been able to raise that without this campaign for any charity. I've never raised like over $1,000 for a charity, and I was able to do that this time. So I'm very grateful for that. So thank you for everyone that was able to donate. And I know I have wonderful, lovely supporters, and I appreciate you all very, very much. I want to wish that for our county to keep prioritizing the coordinated entry system, please. Please keep prioritizing that. I see a lot of things working and happening, and that's great. Anything that's going to help get people off the street and get bodies in beds, that's what that's the goal. That's the goal. And I see the changes, and I appreciate the efforts. I really appreciate the efforts. But I also want us to be ready, because we are going to have to learn how to do more with less. And we're going to have to be honest with our people that we are helping, that it may take a little longer for us to get you services or get you attached to services, but we're not going to stop trying to get you services, because people are not, they're not funding the programs that we need in order to help the people the most vulnerable on the streets, victims of crime, human trafficking, former foster kids. We're not, sexual assault victims. I sit on the Partnership for California Partnership to End Domestic Violence, and we had a meeting yesterday. And that meeting is so important to me, the information and the camaraderie and, feeling like I'm working towards something and committing towards something is awesome about, to end domestic violence. But our meeting yesterday was sad because so many people have lost funding to help the people that we're on that committee for to help make policy. So it was a little sad. But we're going to do better. I got a few seconds left, and I want to say thank you, community. Thank you, San Bernardino. Happy birthday to me. I'll be 58. Thank you. And I'll see you next week.